Evanescence's Afterlife hits like a storm, raw, haunting, and brutally honest. It's a scream into the void, a confrontation with pain so deep that death itself feels like relief. But what's really hiding in these lyrics? Let's break it down, line by line, wound by wound. The opening verse sets a tone of fear, vulnerability, and emotional conflict. The line, hide before the floodgates open, suggests an impending emotional or even physical breakdown, like a dam about to burst. It paints a picture of someone trying to escape overwhelming pain or chaos, possibly from their own emotions or an external threat. The next line, can we just lie here till it's all over, reinforces a desire to avoid facing reality, as if the speaker wants to stay in a moment of stillness before everything falls apart. There's a sense of exhaustion, as if they are pleading for a pause before the inevitable storm hits. The following lines, I hear the violence coming, turn and run inside. You build your walls, but can't forget the hate you hide. Introduce themes of internal and external conflicts. The violence could be literal danger or metaphorical, like emotional turmoil or self destructive thoughts. The act of running inside might mean retreating into oneself for safety, but it's not a true escape. The second part shifts focus to another person, possibly someone the speaker is addressing, criticizing their emotional barriers. The phrase, you build your walls but can't forget the hate you hide, suggests that while this person tries to shut others out, they are still carrying deep seated anger or pain. It implies that emotional walls don't truly protect, they just trap the negativity inside. Overall, this verse captures a moment of desperation where the speaker is bracing for something painful while also calling out the futility of hiding from emotions. It blends fear, avoidance, and a raw acknowledgement of unresolved pain, setting the stage for the song's darker themes of suffering, death, and the afterlife. The chorus is the emotional core of the song, where the pain, defiance, and acceptance of mortality all collide. The opening line, Afterlife, immediately sets the stage. This isn't just about life, but what comes after, suggesting a confrontation with death, judgment, or even a final release from suffering. The plea, save me from this pain and feel the hole inside, reveals a deep emptiness or emotional wound that the speaker can't heal on their own. The hole inside could be grief, trauma, or a sense of meaninglessness. Something so vast that only something beyond life, the afterlife, could fix it. The next line, you wonder why I'm all out of tears to cry, suggests exhaustion. The speaker has endured so much pain that they've become numb. There's nothing left to give, no more sorrow to express. This isn't peace, it's resignation. Yet the most striking declaration follows. Today, I'm not afraid to die. The repetition of not emphasizes a defiant acceptance of death. It's not necessarily that they want to die, but rather that they've reached a point where death no longer terrifies them. Perhaps because life has become so unbearable, or because they've made peace with the unknown. This chorus ties into the song's larger themes of suffering, revenge, and self acceptance. The afterlife isn't just an escape from pain, it's also a place where the speaker expects judgment. So judge me in the afterlife, from the final chorus. They're not begging for mercy, they're standing firm, unafraid of whatever comes next. The repeated idea of being out of tears reinforces the idea that they've endured all they can, and death might be the only thing left that can free them. It's a dark but powerful statement about reaching the limits of human suffering and still holding on to a sense of self. I know who I am from the bridge. In short, the chorus captures a moment of raw vulnerability and strength. Someone who's been broken by life but refuses to be broken by fear. It's a cry for relief, a declaration of numbness, and ultimately a fearless confrontation with mortality. The verse opens with "Breathe, I think you are finally broken," suggesting a moment of collapse, either for the speaker or someone they're addressing. The word breathe could be a command, a desperate plea to stay calm, or an observation, as if the person is gasping from emotional strain. The phrase finally broken implies that this breakdown was inevitable, the result of prolonged suffering or denial. There's a rawness here, as if the speaker is witnessing or experiencing the shattering of emotional defenses. The next line, "If we don't die here, we'll always be hunted," introduces a grim ultimatum. Either face destruction now or carry this pain forever. The word hunted is key. It suggests that some wounds don't heal. They linger like ghosts, tormenting the living. This could refer to trauma, guilt, or unresolved anger. The speaker seems to believe that without some kind of final reckoning, even death, there will be no escape from this psychological torment. The following lines, "I feel the panic and everyone watching lie to me. We've all been used and sold out truth for sick fantasy," paint a picture of betrayal and disillusionment. The panic might be internal, anxiety, dread, or external, a hostile environment closing in. The image of "everyone watching lie to me" suggests a world full of deception where people pretend everything is fine while hiding ugly truths. The phrase "sold out truth for sick fantasy" is particularly biting. It implies that society, or specific individuals, has traded reality for comforting illusions, even if those illusions are destructive. This could critique anything from personal relationships to broader cultural lies. Finally, the verse ends with "I'm holding on to one belief," which acts as a transition into the pre chorus. This one belief is likely the hope or certainty of an afterlife. The idea that even if this world is full of pain and deceit, there's something beyond it where justice, peace, or reunion awaits. It's a fragile but defiant thread of faith in an otherwise bleak landscape. In summary, verse 2 deepens the song's themes of suffering, betrayal, and the struggle for meaning. It portrays a moment of breakdown where the speaker recognizes that some wounds never fully heal, and that the world around them is complicit in hiding painful truths. Yet, amid the despair, there's a stubborn grip on belief, a refusal to let go entirely. It's a verse that balances devastation with quiet, almost desperate resilience. The bridge serves as the song's climax of defiance and self acceptance, where the speaker fully embraces their pain and transforms it into a kind of twisted empowerment. The opening lines, "No one hears me pray for my revenge," reveal a chilling isolation. This isn't a plea for comfort. It's a whispered vow for retribution that goes unheard, suggesting a world indifferent to their suffering. The word pray is ironic here. It twists a typically hopeful act into something dark, framing revenge as almost sacred, a necessary justice the speaker feels entitled to. Yet, the fact that no one hears, it underscores their loneliness. They're utterly alone in their anguish. The next line, "Nothing's gonna wash away these sins," acknowledges the permanence of guilt or corruption. Unlike the hopeful idea of redemption, this line rejects the possibility of cleansing or forgiveness. The sins could be the speaker's own, regrets over actions taken, or those committed against them, betrayals that left scars. Either way, the speaker has accepted that these stains won't fade. There's no absolution, only living or dying with the weight of them. Then comes the most striking image. I'll bathe in the fire, no more wounds to mend. Fire typically symbolizes destruction, but here it's almost purifying, not because it cleanses, but because it's the end of pain. The speaker would rather immerse themselves in agony, bathe in the fire, than keep trying to heal, no more wounds to mend. It's a surrender to suffering, but also a declaration of control. If they can't escape the hurt, they'll own it completely. This line, themes of self destruction as a form of agency, a recurring motive in Evanescence's music. The bridge closes with, "We all die in the end, but I know who I am," a line that's both nihilistic and fiercely proud. The first half, "We all die in the end," reduces existence to its most brutal truth, stripping away illusions of meaning or fairness. But the second half, "But I know who I am," flips it into a statement of strength. Despite the pain, betrayal, and inevitability of death, the speaker clings to their identity. This isn't a happy ending, it's a hardened resolve. They've been broken, but they're not lost. In essence, the bridge is where the song's rage and resignation collide. It rejects false comforts. Nothing's gonna wash away these sins. Embraces self destruction as a form of empowerment, bathed in the fire, and ultimately finds a sliver of victory in self awareness. I know who I am. It's a dark triumph, a declaration that even if the world has failed them, and even if death is the only certainty, the speaker won't die as a victim. They'll meet the end on their own terms.